Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. Today's video is all about what can you plant in June and June chores. We are just coming off a lot of rain, colder weather. I'm in Maryland, Zone 7. Now is a great time to spray your tomato plants to prevent fungal disease. Check out the video description. It will show you how to identify fungal issues on your tomato plants. June, again, is a great time to spray not only your tomatoes, spray your tomato plants, but spray your other plants. A prevention plan for diseases that show up in your garden is the best way to prevent the diseases from taking hold and damaging your crops. You can't prevent them from showing up, but you can really minimize the damage. But let's get to the different crops you can direct seed in June. You can direct seed parsley. Keep seeding parsley about every 6 weeks. Direct seed basil, again, every 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you'll get an endless supply of these herbs. You can also direct seed in Maryland or similar zones where it's warm. Micro dwarf tomatoes or the really small tomatoes, that's Tiny Tim. You can even direct seed Determinate variety tomatoes. Tomatoes that get to a set height, flower, and produce fruit pretty much all at once over like maybe a 2-week span. You still have time to direct seed tomatoes. People forget about that. You can still direct seed carrots. A lot of people think they're just cool weather crops. If you have a shadier area in your garden, go ahead and plant another round of carrots in that area. They're going to be okay. You can also eat carrot greens. A lot of people make a kind of a pesto out of them, but the carrots should do well in a spot that gets a little bit less than, the full sun of your normal garden. While it's really too warm for lettuces, you can plant kale still. Kale will do okay through the warmth of the summer. Sometimes the flavor's not the best, but it grows pretty well. You can also plant from seed your collard greens. Again, these are considered sometimes cool weather crops. People stop planting them, but kale and collards can definitely be direct seeded in your June garden. I haven't planted my spring onions yet. These are from last year. I'm letting them grow and they're forming flower heads, and I'm going to collect the seed. But bunching onions are perfect to direct seed now through your summer garden, especially in June. This is my dill. It went in maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. Went in as a transplant. A lot of people don't know that dill can actually take a light frost. It doesn't mind the cold that much as long as you're moving from cold into the warmth. But you can also direct seed dill now, and you can also direct seed it throughout the summer. Dill's a great herb to get into the ground now. Grows really easily. Just drop in some seeds and you'll have a beautiful plant like this in about 4 to 6 weeks. The soil has warmed up nicely here in Maryland. You can direct seed cantaloupe. You can also put in your watermelon, your pumpkins, and you do tend to wait for the soil to warm up a little bit, but these went in as seeds back in April, middle of April. They don't, mind cooler soil temperature as long as the warmth is coming and you've got the sun beating down. We get 75-degree days in April sometimes. They're going to germinate more slowly. They're going to grow a little bit more slowly. So you can get them in earlier than you think, but June is now the perfect time to really get in all those warm season melons. It's probably too late to put onions in as direct seeds here in Maryland Zone 7, but you can definitely plant your leeks now. Give them a nice spacing. They take about 100 days to mature, a little bit longer, but leeks can definitely go into the garden, and they're a wonderful crop. Similar taste to onions, slight garlic taste maybe. Doesn't bulb up. You're really kind of chopping up the stem that has great flavor, but you can also use the greens. I love making leek and potato soup. Beets are another crop that people associate with the cool weather. So these were put in a while ago and they're starting to form. You can see some nice beets forming down there. This is a cylindra variety. But if you want more beets or you miss planting them, you can definitely plant them in June, and you can actually plant them through the entire summer. They may get a little beat up with the heat. Again, maybe tuck them somewhere where it's a little bit shadier come July, but June beets can go into the ground right now. Direct seed your pole beans and your bush beans. The beans here, these are pole beans, went in on 4/15. You can get them in a little bit earlier than you think, and they were doing great. They should all look like this. I wanted to get some early pole beans. However, I left my gate open one time. Deer came in, chewed the tops down, and you can see that the growth is kind of stunted. But they're going to send out side shoots, so any beans that get damaged from the top from a rabbit or deer are going to come back. Direct seed your beans, and I recommend direct seeding them about every 4 to 6 weeks in your garden. Bush beans, pole beans do really well being pushed into the ground. You don't need to grow them as transplants. You don't need to buy transplants. Beans grow quickly. They love the warmth. Get them in the ground. Turnips are another crop people associate with the cool weather. These went in probably about 80 days ago. I've been harvesting them. Check out the video description for the full harvest video and tips on growing turnips. But you can definitely direct seed turnip seeds now in June They grow nicely. Again, maybe put them in a shadier area, but I've grown turnips through the entire summer in different parts of my garden. Purple top turnips are a great addition to your summer garden. Don't just think that these are cool weather crops for the spring and fall. You can direct seed tomatillos. They can be hard to find as transplants. I grew my own, so this guy got out in the garden early, but they grow really quickly in the warm soil, faster than you might expect. So if you want tomatillos perfect for salsa, go ahead and direct seed them now. Again, they grow extremely fast. We'll be visiting this plant again when we talk about garden chores, because you can see a lot of insect damage on there. These are my potatoes. They went into the ground back in March. People again associate potatoes with only cool weather, early spring planting. You can actually plant potatoes now. You can use potatoes from organic stores, even from non-organic stores. They will grow them in containers. Check out my channel for how you grow potatoes in containers. Lots of videos on that, lots of tips on how to be successful. But I plant potatoes in June, so I'll be putting in another round actually towards the end of June. So these will be getting dug up, new potatoes will be going in, but potatoes are a crop that you can plant definitely in June. This is my corn. I actually planted it on April 15th. It's going to germinate much more slowly in cooler soil. But come June, again here in Maryland, soil's nice and warm, corn is going to come up very quickly. So go ahead and plant your corn. The bigger stalks here came up with the April 15th planting. Some of the corn didn't come up, so some more was put into May. You can see the smaller stalks right there. Warm June soil, perfect time to plant your corn. And just for a quick tip, this is, I think, about 45 plants in a 4 foot by 4 foot space. You don't want to plant corn in a single row, because all the pollen from the tassel has to get into the silks that are going to come out the side of the corn. So if you do a straight row and the wind blows this way, all the pollen gets blown away. So by doing a shape, a circle, square, rectangle, when the wind blows, the pollen goes everywhere, and then your corn's going to be it's going to be pollinated nicely. So you get a full ear of corn with corn in it, instead of just little patches of kernels throughout the cob. By doing this in a square, rectangle, circle, you ensure better pollination. And let's not forget cucumbers. A lot of these crops can be planted through the summer. Cucumbers are one of those. Look how beautiful they are. These went in April 15th. I'll be putting another round of cucumbers in over the next week or so. Absolutely beautiful. Direct seed your cucumbers now. These are sunflowers that self-seeded from last year. June is a great time. Put in any kind of sunflower you want. Mammoth, teddy bear, short variety. Sunflowers are good to take off. They grow really fast. And just a tip, if you enjoy sunflowers, I mean, look how big these are as of June 1st. You can plant them early, like April 1st. They do okay. Plants that just break the ground sometimes can even take a frost. And again, these are all self-seeded from last year. Hung out here over the winter. We have freezing winters here, and they do beautifully. I mean, look, June 1st, massive sunflowers. Now, we don't typically plant sweet potatoes from seeds. They come from slips. So I'm going to count the slip as a seed. Middle of May, early June, great time to put in your sweet potato slips. They need a good 90 days of growing, but they really love the warmth. So putting them in extra early doesn't really give you a jump on the season. They really want warm soil, warm days. Now's a perfect time to drop your sweet potato slips. June's a perfect time to direct seed zucchini, squash, any of your summer squash. These were actually direct seeded on April 22nd. A lot of plants that we associate with warm soil in the summer can be direct seeded a little bit more early than you might think. They take longer to germinate, but they do really well. And look how big this Black Beauty squash is now. If you want to subscribe and follow me, I'm working on an experiment here to create squash bug traps. I'll let you know how that goes. Zucchini, squash, you can direct seed those. Now is a great time to also direct seed your winter squash. They take longer to grow. Squash and zucchini, summer squash, I will plant every 4 to 6 weeks. The winter squash really has to go in now and maybe in July here in Maryland. They take longer to mature. They store for a long time. They'll definitely store for weeks and even months. So the winter squash, you can direct seed those now. This is a butternut. It's going to be trellised right up my cattle panel. So I'll say it one more time, but no matter how many times I say it, people put into the comments what zone are you in. I'm in Maryland Zone 7, June 1st. Just about all your warm weather crops can go into the ground now here in Maryland. If you're up north, you may have to wait a little bit, compared to my garden here in Maryland. So we're going to get to the chores, which you're really going to focus on pests and diseases right now. You really want to start spraying early to keep those problems under control. I'm also going to put okra into the ground. It's going to go over my shoulder, but let's move to the garden chores for June. If I didn't mention it, okra is perfect for June. They really enjoy warm soil, so I don't plant that early. I don't have any growing right now. I'll be putting my okra right down here. Grows really fast. First pest that really comes to my garden are ants. So I will link in the video description a DIY video on how to make an ant bait. So I've dropped them down. That's sugar and peanut butter mixed with borax, and that helps keep the ants under control. So one June chore, if you haven't already started, is to put down ant baits. Ants don't technically damage your plants directly, but they can cause problems by creating nests under your plants, drying out the roots. Certain ants will harvest and manage aphids so that they can use the aphids to get sap out of the plant. If you feel like the ants are a problem, get some ant baits out now. The tomatoes over there look beautiful. They went in early, nice and green, growing well. Coming to this guy, he's looking a little bit beat up. We've had cooler temperatures towards the end of May, lots of rain. Check your plants out. If any of them look a little yellow, they're not really thriving, hit them with the water-soluble fertilizer. June's a great time to break out the water-soluble, feed your plants that are struggling. Don't overfeed your plants that are doing well. Like the guys over here don't need anything. You can give plants a boost if you want, but you're really looking for plants that maybe are struggling a little bit. Hit them with the water-soluble, get them growing, get them going. The warmth of June, the water-soluble will get them off. Well, they didn't get off to a great start. That's why we're feeding them. You'll get them back on track, and they're going to, take off, and they're going to look great in about 2 weeks. I will link a video in the video description that I just did that shows you how to identify fungal issues that come to your tomato plants, and then different sprays you can use on them. Towards the end of May, we had literally days of rain, just lots of rain. Cooler temperatures, that brings in a fungus to our area here in Maryland that will set up on the tomato plants when the temperatures are right. I'll also be getting early blight, usually later June, middle of July. Now's a perfect time to start spraying your tomato plants. The video in the video description not only will help you identify the fungus, it'll talk about different sprays you can use on your tomato plants. But prevention is what really works for disease. You can't keep them out of your garden. They're going to show up. But by spraying on a routine, you really manage down the damage. So June, perfect time to start your sprays for your tomato plants. Overall, the cucumber plants look pretty good, but there are patterns on here of different insect damage, maybe a fungal issue. These are already sprayed for a fungus with baking soda spray. Insects show up on my cucumber plants, and sometimes the only way you know about the problems that come to your garden is you have to wait around for them to show up. So if you're a new gardener, start a journal, use your phone, and just put in dates when problems show up. Take a picture. You may not be able to figure out what it is, but by collecting data on when disease and pests come to your garden, you can preventatively spray and really, again, reduce the damage. So cucumber beetles will be coming here. I'm going to be putting some insect dust on the outer leaves away from the flowers. So June, great time to be thinking about what pests, what diseases show up in the garden, and do I need to get my treatments down now? The tomatillos here in Maryland get hit by flea beetles, and they show up sometime really in May. So there is some damage on there. Good thing about the tomatillos is they're really resilient. They grow through the damage. They can take a lot of damage, and like I was saying earlier, they're really fast growers. But I know that the flea beetle shows up. It's really relentless in June, so I need to get my treatment downs now. One of the chores is to really inspect your plants, look and see what's going on, and like I was saying, journal, write down the problems that show up. The damage on the beet leaves are really from leaf miners from about a month ago, and I've already treated them. I put down an insect dust. You can use organic, not organic, everything's a chemical. Just learn about, what the products are. And the reason I'm not really recommending anything for this video, it's not so much the product, choose as you wish. It's really on the gardener to identify the issue, but to use them regularly to keep the problems from showing up. So once the leaf miners were treated, the damage stays, but the rest of the beet leaves look pretty good. Also have that fungal issue that comes in, and I don't necessarily spray for that. I mean, I find the beets are pretty resilient. The fungus comes and goes for the beet plant here. But again, walk your garden, and I'm going to stress it, identify the problems that show up, keep a journal. That's going to be your best friend come next year. The eggplant are really struggling from all the rain. They really like the warmth more so than tomatoes, peppers, and tomatillos. So they're starting to take off. Lots of holes in the leaves, and that's from the flea beetle. And here's one right in there, right in the center of the screen. They're going to need to be dusted, control the flea beetle, and they're not looking great. So I would hit them with the water-soluble fertilizer. They're going to be okay. They're going to take off. Lots of rain, cooler weather. The eggplant are struggling a little bit. Another task that I do for June is I'm always assessing the plants. The peppers here look a little yellow to me. Lots of flowers, not growing as quickly as I want. And these are the shishitos. I'm going to get into here, pick all the shishitos, hit these with a water-soluble fertilizer, remove some of the flowers, and just give these plants more time to grow bigger roots, get a little bit bigger. Plenty of peppers, plenty of flowers are going to be on these plants. But right now, a lot of the energy is going into taking care of the peppers. I want the energy to go into the plant. I want those peppers to look like this. I mean, these look beautiful. Nice and thick, stem-wise, very green. Flowers and peppers are starting to form now. This is what I want, again, the peppers to look like. I didn't have a lot of mulch in my beds through April and May because I wanted the soil to warm up. Now that it's been warm, go ahead and mulch your soil. That will keep moisture in, it will keep the soil cooler. Actually, you go from wanting warm soil to wanting to mulch it to keep it cooler come, the high heat of summer. So mulch your beds, it'll suppress weeds, keep moisture in there, but it'll help keep the roots cooler. And what that does is the plant won't get a message to kind of shut down and stop producing flowers and fruit. When the root system gets really warm, that top 2-4 inches, 5-10 centimeters, sometimes plants shut down. Here's a beautiful beet, by the way. Look at that. I thought it was Swiss chard when I did the transplant, but we'll have that for dinner soon. And the leaves in here look great. They're not getting the fungus kind of isolated away from the other plants. Anyway, that beet looks great. You're going to always be assessing your plants each month for damage from insects, disease issues, and also looking for struggling plants. My peppers that I showed you don't look like this. And don't, over worry. Just hit them with that water-soluble fertilizer, get them back on track, and those plants will eventually look like this. Here's another group of peppers that are doing really well. These beds were just mulched up. These are just some of the seeds you can direct sow in June. These are the chores that I'm doing now. Mostly really kind of checking on the plants, figuring out what disease and insects show up, and then helping those struggling plants along. These are blueberries. They're going to be ready in about 2 weeks. Look how beautiful they are. I mean, I get so many blueberries here in the garden. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. Sell tomato and pepper seeds for $1.75 a pack. All other seeds are only $1.50. Again, thanks so much for watching, and enjoy your June garden.